Making a video game is a very hard task, and that's why I decided to join a game jam, specifically the 2026 Brainless mini game jam, hosted by, you guessed it, Brainless. A game jam is a great idea to start making a game, and I would really recommend it, as the pressure of time forces you to keep it in a small scope, which is really good when making a game, as it's one of the biggest problems. I worked really hard on the game for the week it was open, and I'm really glad for all the people who rated and played it.
Day 1 didn't really exist for me as the jam opened at 10 PM and I live in Great Tea Land. But I did manage to come up with an idea. The theme for the jam was simpler times, which immediately made me think of Minecraft, Farming Simulator and Stardew Valley. So my idea goes, you're a humble carrot farmer and one of the greatest carrot farmers, but evil bunnies want to eat that carrot, so you must unalive them with your trusty old Glock and RPG. With this idea in mind, I went to sleep ready for the next day's grind. I probably did the most game dev on day 2. I woke up around 7 and immediately started to work on the project. The first thing I did was to create some art for the player. Most people would start with the core mechanics before touching any sort of art or music, which is what I would recommend for a beginner. But personally, I prefer to do a tiny bit of art before so I can visualise the character. I recently downloaded Sprite, which is great for pixel art, and I would really recommend it. After working on a bit of art, I opened up a new Unity project. I hadn't decided on a name yet, but I later settled on Crazy Carrots. I then started to work on the core mechanics, movement and shooting, and it turned out quite well. But next, I had to work on the enemies. The first one was just a basic bunny that hopped across a screen, and the next one was just a slightly stronger, and it takes more hits to kill. I'm intentionally not showing the game footage so that you can see it at the end. One of the next things I needed was to spawn them, so I made a wave machine which would spawn waves of enemies. This was the last thing I made on day 2. I spent over 12 hours of game dev and I went to sleep for tomorrow.
On day 3 I didn't get much progress done as school had just started, but I did get more done than I thought I would. The day mostly consisted of making art for the project, like a barn and some UI like a health bar and a carrot that slowly deteriorates as you lose health. That carrot itself took me like 50 frames to make. By this point I had a basic loop. Although there was no death screen, it worked quite well, and that was pretty much day 3, so I went to sleep ready for day 4. Day 4 was another very short one. I started work on an opening cutscene where you, the player, are in a rocking chair with some peaceful music when a cute bunny hops across the screen and suddenly you shoot it in the face and are thrown into the first wave. I didn't quite manage to finish it though. While I didn't get much time because of school and other hobbies, I was glad to not have to think about the jam and did not have the pressure. Doing a game jam is a great idea because the pressure forces down your scope. But by putting too much pressure, you can start to detriment your mental health. So I would recommend if you're doing a game jam, make sure you get enough sleep and do enough exercise. But on day 5 was mostly sound effects by hitting my mic and shooting Nerf bullets at it. I also made 2 songs. The first one, some main menu music, which is also the opening cutscene music, and a simple drum loop, which is the main beat while fighting the waves. This meant I had finished the opening cutscene. By this point, I had already made the second gun upgrade and were balancing the first 7 of 20 waves, and had made 2 more bunnies, a flash bunny with a trail, and a flash cap. DC, please don't sue me. And that was it for day 5. Day 6 saw a few more bunnies, a jumpy bunny designed to jump very high, a heart bunny that has a lot of health, and a dog bunny designed for the RPG that I made, along with the carrot grenades you can throw at them. But it was also around this point I made clouds that you can see float past you, and it generally just looks nicer. Day 7 was mostly polishing, plus the final bunny, a king bunny. I also made a main menu and a death screen, and then submitted it to the jam. The submission took me like 2 hours because it wouldn't work, and that was the end of the jam. Next was the rating phase. Thank you to everyone who rated and played my game. I ended up coming around 112th. Out of just over 300. I was pleased to come in the top half, but would have liked to done better. I really enjoyed making the game, and it's free on itch.io. I will put a link in the description, but if you would like to see a clip of it, here it is.